and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes.
The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. I'll do you in the bottom while you're drinking sangria.
Nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down cause my dick can float.
We sail around the world and go port to port. Every time I come, I produce a quart.
Put on your life vest, let's drop anchor. There's a nice lady who I like to spank her.
Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes.
All right, welcome back to the OG Minifans show on the Kirk Minahan Network. I'm Steve from Providence with TJ Hubbard and special guest star Tim from Canton. Tim, how are you?
Hi, OGs. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
I
sounded
What's
pretty plastered last night with DEC.
A little bit of the Rona.
Christ.
Shh, don't tell my wife. Yeah,
All
that
right.
that went a little deep in the wine. More than I anticipated.
Good. So we brought you on because we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Something that you're going to be doing with TJ going for the next month and a half. But first off, I want to talk to you guys about
Jump on board.
Blind Mike and his canceled trip to the Keys with Latino Kirk and with intern Will. You guys think you should have went, TJ? Do you think you should have went?
Yeah, of course. Of course. You got to do it. You got to do it for the show. And, he backed out, couldn't do it, can't do it now. Just don't do it now. It lost its luster. But it would have been great. Good content. I don't know, particularly if I was Mike, I'd want to do it. But, I mean, if I was asked to do it, I guess I would.
Tim?
I'm conflicted. I would have said yes, gotta do it, but totally know where he's coming from. But even the conflict creates great content.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's almost better that he can't go. It gives Kirk
At this point
more. Yeah, it gives Kirk more ammo and more stuff to talk about for a longer period of time. I could never say that drive is too much for me. I drove to Baltimore last year with the kids, and I wanted to dump them off at a rest area. Like, it's fucking brutal.
I could do it with a few certain Minifans, but I'm not sure I could do it with those two.
Yeah,
you know
I've
what I mean?
done it 4 or 5 times with the family, and I can't imagine being in a car full of Hep C, dirty feet, cigarettes, terrible driving. If you guys saw the Madawaska videos. And I think they said it seats 5, which means there's 3 in the back, 2 up front. It's probably like a car with a propeller on the back. I'm like a
probably
Prius.
a Daewoo Lanza,
right?
Daewoo Lanos, or whatever it is. Yeah.
I actually didn't mind. Like,
smart car.
The only thing that came out that I kind of didn't like was I guess Mike was getting DMs calling Albert a cunt and all that type of stuff. That you don't need to do that.
There's no need for that.
That's the only thing. That's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell like the guy really cares about her. Now it's fun that
but you say he does care about it. But I mean, she hasn't introduced yet. It seems to me as it's a kind of a one-way street here.
Stir the pot.
I'm just saying. I mean, hey, you haven't introduced your boyfriend to your parents. He says you're going.
She did. It took a while, but she did.
Exactly. So, and then
I thought he met the brother.
And then again this week, hey, if the show moves to Maine, would you like to go? That's a hard no. I don't know if you guys have been to Maine, well, other than Madawaska. It's not a bad place. You should jump on that chance to move here. The property values are half the price.
That's a ringing endorsement. That's like decent pizza. Maine, not a bad place. Now get the fuck out. What the hell, TJ?
Well, I am saying I live here.
This is what I have to put up with every fucking week. Every week, it's brutal.
That's why I love the show.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them for not wanting to go. If they were flying, which wouldn't be much fun for Kirk as far as getting any content out of it. But the driving aspect was great because that's a long fucking ride to be locked in the car. But as far as going to Maine, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know if they move to the middle of nowhere. There's not much that's available to help Mike. I can understand that part. If she doesn't want to move up there, then what do? Do you break? And Kingpin Pete said it today. He hasn't had a lot of girlfriends, so then what do you do? I mean, it's such a fucking tough situation. Someone like myself, who at 29 was an absolute cockslinger.
Excuse me.
I mean, that was no big deal, but I can understand. I could definitely understand. Definitely understand.
He's going for personality too here. You can't really technically see what's going on, so she must have struck him as a good personality at some point.
Well, I have a question for you guys. What if Kirk went directly to Albert and said, "Listen, let's make this happen"? Would Mike even know they were in Maine? If they moved, they got a new apartment, it just happened to be.
Why did it take 2.5 hours to move all this couch?
I mean, how would he know?
True, it's true. So, Tim, did you watch the on Saturday? Did you watch the trivia show, the fucking debacle?
Listened to it, watched it, loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. It was everything I wanted and more and less. It was awesome.
You and 3,000 other people, apparently.
Okay.
Really?
So
Steve from Providence might have bought some views.
So here's the deal. I'm gonna bail out. The whole thing, the ending was I think the best part, but overshadowed was the fact that my partner was an absolute shithead and could not get an answer right to save his fucking life.
Oh boy!
So my vomiting was the bailout that he needed at that point because he was looking like an idiot. What happened was this: my pregame strategy was I figured, all right, the most I'm gonna have to drink 6 beers. We're gonna get beat just on overall. Kirk's gonna get more right answers. We're gonna get beat overall that way. I did not plan on what happened. My preparation was to have a lot of food that day, stretch out the stomach with a lot of water, and 6 beers would be no problem.
Fucking steak bomb in the middle of that,
right?
There was an 8-minute period where 4 beers went down, and I looked at that video again. I was petrified. Like
I looked up and I thought you got a question right, and you're still chugging a beer. I was like, no, I was like, what? He's still drinking.
It went bad very quickly, and there was a lot of fear in my eyes. But
you're an experienced guy. You're a worldly man. I know that. Did you think that was a good game plan? Did you, were you planning on RA doing that much better than he did?
Exactly what Kirk said. I looked at him like he was fucking Rain Man, and I thought there's no way he's going to get that amount wrong.
Well, I mean,
they were hard questions. Very hard.
I try to get some very hard questions in there because we do have 2, talented people coming in, very smart. I wanted to get some hard ones in. And there was questions submitted by RA for another show. There's questions submitted by Steve Robinson as well. I tried to use none of those. I didn't want to taint, but so doing such, some of the questions were questionable. The 125s, I knew when I said it, I knew it. I was like, that doesn't really make fucking sense.
Well, do you think as a host of a game show, a trivia game show,
do you think Alex Trebek does it himself?
No. Do you think that any question should be questionable? Like they should all be facts. You should have
of course, but
doubt.
Where do you get your facts from?
Myself?
No, two ways. You physically saw it, or 2, you've researched it on the internet. And when I researched something, looked it up on the internet, it came up just like it did for Steve Robinson. The 125s came out. I was like, well, that's weird, but whatever.
Sure.
The other one was the first Roman numerals used in a Super Bowl that happens to be true. It was 3, unlike Steve said today, it was 5. If you look deeper, it was 3. But that being said, it's the 3rd time. Yeah, it was this many.
Do you fucking believe this?
That's what makes that show so awesome. Let me ask you a question. This is less about RA, and I think it's more about TJ and where you physically get facts at the library, on the internet, or from your friend down the street who kind of thinks he knows what the fuck he's talking about. And I submit to you Team 125.
125. I mean, at some point, I changed it on my screen. I put 12.5. I was like, it doesn't seem 125 makes no sense.
Tim,
And I
have
looked
you
at-
ever seen Tim? Have you ever seen National Lampoon's European Vacation?
Oh, 100 times.
When he goes on the Pig and the Poke, and
Yes.
and the guy is feeling up the daughter, and he's just fucking very unprofessional. That is this guy. That is
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, if you throw less than a month ago, someone said, "Hey, you got to do a game show host," and you're hosting it, and you've never done that before in your life, it
All
takes a little bit to get used to.
But
All right.
you're a natural. You're a natural. You were spiffed up. You're ready to go. You presented yourself well.
I had real
You
nice
make it-
hair. That's about it.
You did. You had a nice haircut, but the material, I
Blame
would
yourself
say,
for
there's a
hurricane.
saying in business: prior planning prevents poor performance.
And I prior planned. That's crazy.
And
He-
Steve, let me ask you,
Not enough.
how would TJ have rated on his eval in the Marine Corps?
Oh, he was fucking.
What would you
would've
have done?
So here's the deal: when you go to boot camp, if you're don't take this the wrong way. I know you're in great shape, but if you're a fat body, you get these 2 stripes across your chest, which means you're only allowed to eat half rations at lunch and dinner.
Do you think
And,
this didn't happen in my lifetime? Let me go with a quick story. During football in high school, they used to, on Saturdays, you'd have to come back and we have to do down and back. So you'd stop one goal line, go all the way down and run back, and then do 10 push-ups. Well, the fat kids only had to go halfway down and wait for their partner. So we got a nice breather. And I'd still have about 8 of those that would fucking upchuck anything that was in my stomach. Because I was not a svelte person.
Every time you tell a story, a little bit more of me dies.
That's good. That's good.
Slowly.
Make sure you invite me to your funeral.
All right, so with
I
the
like
debacle
stories.
the debacle with the debacle from Saturday, and the loss, the absolute failure on my part, comes.
Well, can I jump in, Steve? In point, TJ and I were talking about this. The questions were very tough, very narrow categories, right? RA was going with his strength, right? He hit on a couple of histories, so he was going with history or general knowledge. Kirk stayed with sports. He even said, "I'm terrible at history." I think if it was shaken up a little bit, it might have been a little bit of a different outcome. But some of those questions, I had literally no, not even like a guess, no clue.
Well,
what they would have been.
It's funny you say that, because the week before, we had talked about making sure, but my host shit his pants when the bright lights were on. That we talked about there was only going to be maybe 5 questions per subject, and you had to automatically pick from a different category.
We discussed that afterwards, meaning this week, not be prior to.
And as he was
not discussed.
As he was
so behind the scenes, I like it.
As he was sweating like a whore in church, he was.
Absolutely.
Everything went to hell. But as I was saying, so through everything that happened, Steve reached out to you and he wanted you to come up with. I came out and said that I wanted to go up against Kirk again, a rematch, and he said, better yet, what we're going to do is we're going to have a contest, 8 teams, to see the road to Kirk trivia contest.
The road to perdition, as I would say.
So you guys, so this is where Tim comes into play. So Tim is the designated fact checker, TJ fuck up checker.
Wait, real quick, we do have the documentation that he's an actual fact checker, right? Tim and Ken?
I have before me. Sorry, I was just asking my wife to get me a beer. She wasn't happy.
The Kirk
I have
show,
before me. Presented to Tim and Ken, official fact and TJ fuck ups checker.
There you
3
go.
June 2020.
There you go.
Wow!
Seal
congratulations on graduation.
All right, so
that's
as I had texted you guys, it was quite the process.
All right, so you got, so now you got a whole bunch of DMs. Now we couldn't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
we couldn't fit all
constraints.
Yeah, we can't. But unfortunately, I couldn't add all the teams either. So there's
Yeah.
other people that will have to. They're either on deck in case some of these bail out,
Yeah.
or they're going to be for the next round if there's a next round.
Okay.
But
So
pretty sure-
what are the? Let's go over this first. So
Let's-
what are the two regions that we have?
Okay, region number one's the Madawaska region, and I have the teams. If you like the teams in that region, real quick.
Sure.
do you
Let's
want-
go over the teams. Let's go
All
over
right.
the teams for that region.
The teams for the Madawaska region is Ted, Sellers, and Tara. I think
Yep.
we all know who those people are. Stacy from Madawaska.
Yeah, the Walker and the
Cell phone-
Taka.
The Walker and the Taka. Stacy from Madawaska's cell phone, and Sheldon from North Dakota. And then we have Mark from Chicopee and John from Scranton. And then we have Phil from Discord and BA.
Ooh,
It looks like Phil has replaced intern Will.
Good.
Young
So-
guns.
Good.
So
I like it.
those are the 4 teams in the Madawaska region.
Okay,
The other
so
region,
what's the other region? What do we?
the other region is Epstein Island. In Epstein Island's team consists of you and RA to start with.
Yeah.
We have the Quantum Week team of Matt Carano and Quantum Chris.
Yeah.
We have Latino Kirk and Ned Snark. And
Yep.
then we have definitely should be in this region. DEC and Kevin from Bristol.
What a fucking gauntlet of teams.
That is the gauntlet
God.
match over there.
My
Boy,
God.
I would say the Epstein Island bracket has the definitive drinkers, as long as Carano can hold 10 beers.
Or
Well,
martini. Or are we gonna let him drink martinis when he's drinking?
No. Come on. He can drink a beer. He's a
So-
married man. He's a married man.
I think there's a couple of dark horses on the other bracket. I mean, Phil and BA, they seem like intelligent guys. I
Ooh,
Yeah, Phil's a smart
I
kid.
think-
He's a smart kid.
he
I
is.
think they met. Yeah, and is it going to be Canadian questions about freaking hockey and what's it? And
Well, you never know. I mean, I'm going to say Phil being a smart guy, but I think the second half of that team is where it's at. If he has to drink 9 beers, he's standing up. I've seen it.
Now, who's that? BA.
good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, it
BA.
gets fucking tough, man.
Strong
It gets
team.
fucking
Strong
tough.
team.
That is a strong. He's a good drinker, and Phil's smart. He's a very educated kid.
Yep. I don't know
so
Mark from Chicopee's prowess with the alcohol, but I know John from Scranton's a smart boy. So, and then I think Stacy's cell phone from Madawaska there. I think Sheldon's going to be the thinker on that one. So I'm not sure about Stacy's drinking.
Yeah. Do you know who Stacy's cell phone? Is it a
It's Stacy's cell phone.
known entity?
Let's hope it's waterproof.
Could be a fucking guy with a huge cock. I have no idea. I've never.
Could be a smoke show too. Who knows?
So that's one thing that we wanted to do. So we wanted
One
to
and the
throw
same
some-
for Steve.
And
want
I also
to-
got indication that out of Ted and Tara is going to be the drinker, and Ted is going to be the thinker.
Ted the comedian.
Not surprised.
Yes,
Ted's got a quick wit. I would venture to guess he knows a lot of useless info.
Oh, who
Now, any
doesn't? Yeah.
any rule changes, boys? Any
Now, the only thing I
structural
think,
changes?
Tim, I think when we talked the other day, I think we talked about it, and I think Steve, we also talked about it. I think
Well, we talked
you can't go back
about
to
a
back.
lot of stuff the other day.
You
By
can't
the
go
way, I
back.
got a picture for you. I was walking with my wife last night, and I saw one of the whack packers, and I got a
Oh,
picture
no.
for you. He's
Oh,
still
God,
alive.
I swear to God. Wait until I mean I
Bucket
got them
hat,
lined
yep.
up. I've been taking screenshots for God knows how long.
Attaboy. I'm sorry. you
So
were saying.
so we got a wow.
What is it? You can't go back to back. What is-
Yeah,
did
I would
you
say
say
you can't go back to back on categories. I would also like to make the categories a little bit more general. So if we had 2 categories, but they encompass like sports and leisure. Remember that one we had on Trivial Pursuit, sports and leisure, and then a one with general knowledge. But I know I guess I'm trying to think of a way to like sports and entertainment over here, history and general knowledge over here. You know, I have two things because sports and entertainment kind of go hand in hand. I don't know if you know what ESPN stands for. But, so you can have movies, you can have music, you can have sports.
Time out. Why don't you tell us
What
ESPN stands for?
Entertainment Sports News Network, right? Or something like that. Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
What's the B?
Place sucks. Entertainment Sports Programming Network, right?
Do you realize, Tim, I could not have picked a worse but better person to do this.
You are so right. And I don't think it's ever actually been confirmed. That is the rumor that ESPN stands for that, but I don't think it's actually ever been confirmed.
Oh, yeah. Also, when we used to, so when I was playing football,
another story.
When we shut out, we had
kids, hold on. Kids, come around. There's a story.
Gather around. When we had there's 12 games in a season. And if you held the other team to 0 points, the coach would give you 2 donuts. In about, I don't know, the 5th shutout, he started handing us apples. And we were pissed. You know, can't give the fat kids apples. That's unbelievable. Sorry. It was just piggybacking off the down and back. So, hey, no.
So,
all right,
Steve, you are the TJ whisperer. I could listen to this all night, though. I really could. I told you, TJ, I love the stories. I love them.
So, all right. So that's going to be your 2 things. So you can't go back to back, and you're going to try and combine the categories. This way, you have, instead of 3, you have 2. But you're going to make it a little bit more open, to yourself too. So to where you have more of a broader platform to choose questions.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I ran out of almost sports and history questions last time, and no one picked any general knowledge. So
great.
How do you run out of sports and history questions? History is literally 5,000 years old.
No, I know, but the ones I have up on my screen, I started to run, and I'm picking ones that are like the questionable ones, like the 125s. You get to the sports, you're like, I don't know if I should even be saying this.
So any potential for KMS type questions about the show?
Maybe in a future one. I mean, I think a lot of us know a lot of that stuff, but it's just tough because
let me ask you, what does KMS stand for?
Kangaroo Mounting
Programming Network.
What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to come up with something as you're also gonna, one thing that we don't have is a tiebreaker rule. So maybe for something as far as a tiebreaker, you're gonna have to make up something for a tiebreaker. The only thing is
the tiebreaker rule is the question closest. We'll pull the prices right. Closest without going, like how many dimples are in a golf ball? You know what I mean? Closest without going over. You guys care to venture a guess on that?
Okay.
368.
Yeah. Well, Tim from Canton to be right. Close enough.
128.
Tim Canton wins.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So now we go to the Epstein region with those teams. Now those are gonna be fucking tough. Those are some tough teams.
Well, the problem with the Quantum Week guys is that we get into a music movies category over here. No,
Toast.
So,
but TJ, do you know who the thinker is for each of the teams?
So yes, the Quantum Week one. As it sits right now, they can change it, but I think Carano is going to be the drinker. I know Chris was a little hesitant on him being the drinker. He might be able to hold about 2 beers. So, we know who Steve and RA is going to be drinking.
Yeah.
I am venturing to guess that it is not going to be DEC as the drinker.
Yes, I would.
Something you always want to put
point.
People in places where they would succeed the most, and that would be Kevin from Bristol as the drinker, I assume. And then Latino Kirk and Ned. Ned answering, Latino Kirk pounding him, and fake drinking his beers down here on the side. So,
I'm sorry. Who was it? Latino
Ned
Kirk
did a
or
great
Ned?
job.
Yeah, Ned did great.
So I'm sorry. Who was the thinker in that one?
Ned Snark.
Ned.
Yeah. Ned's a thinker.
So what about a tiebreaker where the drinker has to answer the question?
Ooh.
especially if it's that far along.
Oh boy, that means that it's never going to be a tie. Well, no, so the drinker has to answer that question without going over, like an amount question. You know, how many needles are on a pine cone? You know, stuff like
368. Again.
Winner.
Huh?
Winner. It's unbelievable. 368.
Steve's so tired right now. He just wants to hang up and go to work.
Jesus Christ.
I got work in 3.5 hours. So anyway, all right. So you have those brackets set up. So it's starting. You're doing it every Sunday. Is that right?
Yeah, Sunday? I want to start taping every Sunday night. Yep. And that will go on.
Okay.
So it looks like 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. On the 7th week, my God, it might put us in late July.
Ooh, that could be very interesting.
Ooh.
Right.
So now, is there a possibility, has it been brought up, that it is a possibility that if by chance, just by chance, if the final 2 players also have tickets to maybe something that's going to be going on?
Maybe.
If it does happen?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, they mentioned on the show today, they said an event in late July. Ooh, that would align like the stars. Woo.
Yep.
Not gonna.
So
I'm
if
not gonna
they
lie
did
to
say
you.
that, and if by chance,
I'm not wearing a tie.
Supposedly,
nope.
And this can get prolonged. This can get brought up. If by chance there is something in late July, is it possible that Kirk would want to do it live? If those 2 people qualified and were at the event, that could be something good.
Because that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate show, right? That's the final show is against Kirk, and
yes.
And is it Mike?
Yes. Yeah.
Or would it be Kirk and Steve?
Ooh. Oh,
that could
you
be
never
good.
know.
All right, and also
7 weeks
what we
out.
are going to do before we get into the first round matchups. The first round matchups are going to be going on this week. We're going to talk about that in a second, but there also is another prize. You helped me out with something, so along with that, the 2 winners that go against Kirk are also going to get any choice of something from the KMF show attire, either a hat, a sweatshirt, or whatever they want.
These hats are fire, by the way. New Era lids. They're really
so
nice.
they can pick out one
high quality
item each person. And all right, so what's the first round matchup? What is that?
So the first round, I think it's going to be this Sunday. It's going to be Ted and Tara versus Stacy from Madawaska's cell phone and Sheldon from North Dakota. So that's going to be we'll tape that Sunday, and unless they want to do it live, which I'm not really good at, but we'll tape it Sunday, and we'll either have it up Monday or see who the winners are, and should make for a good show. Tara being the drinker and Sheldon being the thinker on the other side. So,
and Tim, you're all set for that? You're all good for that on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm good. I am good. So Sunday night, I'm ready to go. We can figure out logistics, but yeah, I'm good. I'll be TJ. So TJ, you're gonna get the questions together beforehand. Well, obviously, but do you need help with that?
I might need help. We'll help with that if you'd like to find some, and I can triple fact check these too, just to make sure. I don't want any screw ups.
All right. So what do you guys think of the favorites and the underdogs of this? The underdogs first. Who do you think is the underdog?
The underdog. I would say the underdog in all this. I will go with. Boy, Jesus, that's tough. I'm looking down on the bracket right here. I have written in front of me.
While you're thinking, I'm going to say the underdog, just because I don't know how much she can drink, and if it has to go to 5 or 6 beers, I'm going to say Tara, just based on she's very small. I don't know how much she can hold down, so I'm going to go with her as my underdog. Her team is my underdog.
Okay. I mean, for this week, I would say Stacy, cell phone from Madawaska and Sheldon. I don't know. Stacy is I'm not going to gender label whoever that is just the moment because I don't know, but I don't know the drinking capacity. So without knowing that might be.
I'm going to go with TJ because they're an unknown entity, and like I said, Ted seems pretty sharp. Who's drinking on the Sheldon and cell phone team?
Cell phone.
Cell phone. So the caller and the baller. I'm gonna say, yeah. I just think that Sheldon spends a lot of time in the tractor and working on the farm, and maybe not paying as much attention to minutia like we do because we have nothing else to do. Guy's a hard worker, so yeah. I'm gonna give it to, and I like you guys are doing this. I like how the Mincel boys do that too when they do brackets. They weight them and they rank them. I'm gonna give, if we had to do odds, I'm gonna give the Walker and the Taka probably 1.5
Ooh.
odds over Sheldon, the caller and the baller.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorites. Favorites overall.
Well,
Right,
I
so,
mean,
your favorites overall.
Has to be you and RA. Not gonna lie.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so. I don't care what you say about him. I think he's a smart son of a bitch. And I think he's gonna be ready more than ever.
I do. I'm gonna go with DEC, and if it goes to drinking, there's no doubt Kevin. The fucking guy can drink when it comes to Kevin. DEC spent a lot of time indoors as a child, and
boy.
I'm gonna say that he probably has a lot of knowledge. He's also highly educated. He's fucking creepy. So I'm gonna go DEC and Kevin. What do you think, Tim?
So comment about DEC and Kevin. I mean, the fact that DEC even knows who Georgie Jessel is from 1940s and 50s tells me the man is a vault of useless information. And but I still say, and obviously, RA, the guy's sharp as a tack, although it was a little dull this past weekend, not his fault. I still think my dark horse I'm riding with is the Canadian and Phil.
Ooh.
I expect a lot from those guys.
Okay.
I really do. I think they have as good a match as DEC and Kevin. One of them is going to be able to drink, and I think either one of them can answer questions.
Yeah, and I think the mark against Quantum Week is that I can look at both of those guys and be like, they're not drinkers. I don't think so. Maybe one or two.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you I'm not. Like, I may look like it, but I'm not either. I could have a couple beers or something, but geez, if I had to put back 8.5 like you did, I'd have tapped out at 4.
It's a lot. But if you have a strong thinker, it's not as big an issue.
No, exactly. So I don't know.
Right.
It's like having the Ozzie Smith of shortstops.
So I don't think you answered who your overall pick would be, TJ. Did you?
The overall pick. Yeah, no, it was Stephen R.A.
Oh, Stephen R.A.
I have a lot of faith in R.A.
We need someone to put together a points board with odds and beforehand and then after each session. I think it'd be great. So maybe I'll put something together.
I know we're cutting out right now soon enough, but if you guys had to have one summer song out of all the summer songs, give me your best summer song. Could be, Boys of Summer, or Summertime from Will Smith, or Bananarama. Give me a summer song. I need one. You'll know why tomorrow.
Steve?
Don't. All right. Here's the thing about me that I will gladly cop to. I am the least musically inclined person. I'm the least person that you want to ask a music question. I don't know the name of bands. I don't know anything when it comes. I know a song if I've heard it. I'm like Steve Robinson when it comes to that. I know jack shit about music.
I smell another category, TJ.
Yep.
But I'm not answering shit. That's why I'm drinking.
That's good.
Tim, I'll let
good.
you handle this.
What do you got?
Well, all right. So TJ, I got to ask, you mean a song with summer in it, or just a great summer feeling song?
The summer, like Summer of '69, Bryan Adams, Boys of Summer, I like that one. It's a Cruel Summer, Bananarama. I'm trying to think of a really good song and something that's people at the show would like to. What do you think?
on the spot, hands down, Bananarama. That's my time. The '80s music, I freaking love it. I still listen to it, but I'm sure there's other summer songs I come up with. But I'm curious what this project is. Does it
Well,
have to do with DEC, a van, and kids?
I would say if real
Playground?
quick,
no. You'd have to say, go ahead.
well, real quick, I would say "Cruel Summer" only because of I think it was in the Karate Kid, if I'm not mistaken. It was part. I think it was in the Karate Kid when he
Peter
went to the
Cetera
carnival
does
with her or
hit
some
me as
shit
like
like that. I could
summerish.
be
You know what I
wrong.
mean? Someone's suggesting some rap. I see some rap albums. No, we're all
what's yours,
47 years
PJ?
old. I would say
Does it
Don
have to
Henley's
do with birds?
The Boys of Summer. That's a great summer flick. Oh, I mean, tune, but it's like late September tune. It's like summer's over. It sucks. So I don't know. Maybe it's not Don Henley. The fuck are you laughing at?
You just made my night. It's a September song.
It is. It's a September song. Hey, wait, Justin, bring it up. Bring it up. Boys of Summer, Don Henley. Let's take us out with that.
So it's more of a fall autumn song.
Listen,
Yeah. It is. Summer's over. You know, you finger bang like 5 or 6 chicks down at Old Orchard Beach. There's nothing left. You know, you're like, fuck, going back to school.
Your coach is done giving you donuts and apples.
Donuts and apples, down
it's
and
a good
backs,
autumn
push
song.
ups.
An autumn
Yes,
song.
great. Justin, can you bring that song up real quick?
Throw it to your brother. Get Ted.
That is a classic song, but I'm telling you, it's like a late summer song, like early fall. Just feels like the shit's over. We want to ramp it up. Like summer's coming. We're happy it's here.
All right, listen to me. I need. All right, I could talk to you guys all night, but
Sure.
my time is ticking. All right. So with that being said, so you two are on this weekend.
Yes.
You two are on this weekend. Next week, we're gonna hopefully have the winners of this weekend show on with us. The three of us, and we'll go up against who they hopefully get the odds of who they're going to be going against. And we'll carry it on from there. Tim, thank you very much.
Yes, thanks for coming on. Been
Oh,
great.
guys, thanks for having me. I love being on with you guys. A lot of laughs, and now I'm gonna go get my playlist of pre-autumnal fall songs together.
Good. Tim, I'm heading down to the local convenience store to look at the talent.
Oh boy, I want those pictures, buddy. Steve,
right.
be careful at work
right.
tonight.
We'll see you,
see you, boys.
Sunday or Monday night. Take care.
Ciao.
Late meatloaf.
All right. With that, we will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.